Hello and welcome back to our, well, camel-focused series, I guess we could kind of call it now. Anyway, Assault the Siege Camp, here we go. This is what we're going to do. Oh, okay, I actually wasn't anticipating that we would actually get the garrison's help or any of the militia or anything like that. I thought I'd have to do this myself. So basically what I did was, I literally just waited. I just waited for some time. And just allowed my garrison to have the overall defensive bonus, because obviously they do have a defensive bonus, and we were now able to diminish the enemy's forces enough so that maybe, just maybe, we'll be okay. Alright, so let's just take a quick look here. So this guy obviously is going to be our leader for the infantry, and then we're just going to go in. We're just going to go in, but, yeah, that's actually something that I should really have realized, but oh dear. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Basically, what I'm referring to here is the fact that we have so many troops to command now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this. Why is my infantry in such a... there we go. This is much better. There we go. We're going to put them in a shield wall over there. Actually, you know what? Let's just actually move them around about here. I think this seems like a better position, shall we say. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to get all these guys, get all the cavalry, get all the horse archers to follow me. This is actually one of the largest battles we've done so far, hilariously enough. And let's see what I can actually do, because obviously the enemy is probably going to do some damage to me right now, where they really do want to, with their horse archers, of course. But it's not really going to do much, because they are not on camels. They're not on camels, and that's all that they need, really, isn't it? That's all you really need to achieve victory in this case. And they're not on them, so there you go. Easy victory for us right there, just purely for the fact that they have very few camels, if at all any. I don't think they have any, actually. And, yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote then, isn't it? Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to just move the archers a little bit closer. We're actually using strategy here. Wow, we're actually using tactics. Can you believe it? I can't. It's been some time since we've actually even been able to be honest, because we've just had cavalry, you know, as you do, you know, when you go into a battle in Bannerlord and you generally have decided on a particular theme, you know, if you have decided on a theme at all. Well, my theme is you know, having a bunch of camels, and that's exactly what I have here. So yeah. That's generally what we're going to have in our armies, and why we're monopolizing the camel business, shall we say. We have so many of them. Anyway, I believe that's probably going to be it. Yep, the enemy really does not have any way of really defending against so many camels. And you know what? I actually never felt like I would ever say the word camel this many times. But apparently that is indeed what I'm doing. That is indeed what I'm doing right here. So, anyway. Oh, Zamina actually leveled up. Fantastic. Yeah, and now, here's the thing. One thing that I'm really intrigued, or should we say, curious about, is how do you get a companion to have a different trait? How do you get them to modify their traits? And I'm talking about without mods, in gameplay terms. And I'm talking about from a perspective of Hasid, you know, our prince companion. And you know him, he has, you know, 100 roguery or something like that, and he has a huge amount of roguery. And what we're going to do right now is I'm actually going to be taking every single one of these guys prisoner. Every single one of them. Tulak obviously is definitely someone that we want to make sure does not escape, because we want to make sure that he doesn't get a massive army together again and then, you know, comes back at us with a significant amount of troops. Anyway, this is a wonderful weapon right here. This is a glaive. Super good in my opinion. I personally really like these, but I won't be using this just purely for the fact that this is just, you know, a lot better. But the glaive is a great weapon. I personally prefer the long glaive. I think the long glaive is probably a little more my style. Yeah, but anyway, as I was saying, how do you get a companion? Like, I'm just going to take a look at Hasid real quick here. So as you can see, he has Devious -1 honor. However, he has Mercy 1. And now this is the main problem here, because if we had him at Mercy 0 or lower, I'd actually be able to install him in one of our alleyways, and that would make a pretty big difference. And now on the other hand, obviously we have Zamina here, and she has, well, Mercy 0. So she's obviously going to be able to take over the alleyway relatively easily without any problems. But I'm just kind of wondering, how do you manipulate the companion's traits? That's the question that I have here. Because if anyone knows, by all means let me know, because I know how the player manipulates the traits. But companions, on the other hand, that's a slightly different thing. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. Anyway, what we're going to do, just going to go in here. Oh, I actually did not want to manage prisoners. I actually wanted just to, well, I actually wanted to manage them and not do the other thing. Anyway. Whoa! That's a lot of people. We're just going to put these guys in here. There we go. That's actually perfect. That's very nice. And then we can just sell the remaining. The remaining. That's what I was going for right there. Anyway, let's take a look at how many. We've got a little bit of money. Okay, this is not really going to give me a huge amount, but I might as well just try to get rid of as much as I possibly can here. I do need to get rid of a lot of food. That's the main thing that's kind of causing me to be over the limit. There we go. Let's get rid of some sheep and hogs, cows. 37 cows I had. Okay, that's pretty incredible. And yeah, okay. So otherwise we could just sell some of this too. Oh, actually I'm way over. Okay. Never mind then. Alright, so workshops will be done in one day, as you could see. And then what we're going to do is I'm literally just going to put a pause on the granary for the moment, because my loyalty, as you can quite clearly tell, is not doing very well. So we're just going to have to wait. And then I'm just going to make sure that that is indeed working. Our is now pregnant again. Okay, that's actually amazing. We're doing some really, really good work on that. Our efficiency rating on that is second to none, apparently. Not sure how that's happened, but there you go. All right, that's fine. That's great for him. Great for our character, shall we say. Anyway, there you go. There's the workshop. That has been done, and now the loyalty will hopefully start to go up. Now, let's go over to Akalat and see if we can actually take that now, because we have actually managed to... Yes, you guessed it. We have managed to capture a bunch of vassals. So maybe it is actually going to be possible now for us to go in here without... Oh.
Stop there.
Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Yes, that is unfortunate. Okay, well, this isn't that bad. However, the problem is I did not actually level up my forces before going in here. So now I will not be able to. So that's obviously a bit of an issue. Anyway, we have 136 cavalry on the battlefield right now. And I think we should be fine. But you can see here at the top of the screen, the bar is a little bit in the enemy's favor. Just a little bit. So I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried about that. I'm a bit worried. Anyway, Akram, he just did not know what he was facing. He obviously did not realize that we were on a camel. You really have to realize that. You know, maybe he hasn't seen one before. I don't know. But yeah, you've really got to be super, super careful about dealing with camels. They are super powerful creatures, and you really do not want to mess with them. And especially when there is a very grumpy looking fellow on them, i.e. this guy. Me. Or shall we say my character. Yes. So otherwise what we're going to do is we're just going to wait in here. Just going to wait in here, see if I can do some damage. I am having a bad feeling that my camel's probably going to get killed here, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, we took a massive hit from Akram himself, because he was wanting to couch lance us, or wanting to lance us in general, and that was a bit messy, wasn't it? So I would like to eliminate some of these guys on their horses, because they're actually the enemy lords, and it would be wonderful if we could take them down. Oh, one of them's already been eliminated. That's nice. This fellow needs to go down. Oh, no, never mind, never mind. He was actually just a Khan's guard. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, really? Wow, there's a bunch of Khan's guards. What's actually happening with that? That's kind of strange. Oh, well, never mind. Let's just run along the enemy lines here. Just take them down. That's actually one of my favorite things to do when in a battle like this. I really like going on my mount into the archer line and then just hitting with an extremely long weapon, because it's just so satisfying to actually have the AI, you know, react to your presence, because sometimes they're not going to do that. Sometimes they're not going to react at all, but they are definitely reacting right here. And while it is satisfying that they are attacking me, because obviously, realistically, they should, you know, but it's very, very cool to be able to pull that off and then get out of there and actually be able to, you know, continue onward and continue doing damage elsewhere in the battle. We like that. Anyway, I think that's actually going to be it. I think we are pretty done. I'm very surprised about this. I can only assume that he just had a huge amount of nomads. I mean, look, there's so many nomads right here. I did see a couple of high-tier troops, but yeah, the Crusade do not seem to be running around with anything too dramatic. I'm actually wondering how it's going to be when they decide to make peace with us. Because obviously, if you remember, in some of my previous series, I actually had the mod Diplomacy installed. And Diplomacy is a fantastic mod if you want to have a slightly, well, I say slightly, but shall we say, a greatly increased control over your diplomatic measures in the game. And it does provide you with the war exhaustion system, as well as a number of other things, like being able to claim fiefs that you take. So basically, if you're a vassal and you take something, you're then going to be able to lay claim to that yourself without having to worry about votes and so on and so forth. So, you know, all that kind of stuff if you want a greater degree of control. But yeah, so anyway, the point is we don't have that installed right now. I don't have that right now. So obviously we are now in a situation where I'm in a bit of the dark, because I haven't actually played Bannerlord for quite some time without Diplomacy. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's like. And we'll I guess, check it out relatively soon. Anyway, 68 renowned for that. Really, really nice. And I'm going to be taking every single one of these guys prisoner, as you might expect. And we're just going to take all these. Unfortunately, I cannot take all the other prisoners because there's just... Well, I could actually take the rescued prisoners, I suppose. I can't take any of the others, unfortunately, because I don't own the actual fief yet. Look at this, though. We just gained an amazing torso piece. Oh, that is wonderful. Look at that. Boom. Now we have 57 body armor. That is absolutely amazing. Let's get all of our friends outfitted with some wonderful stuff too. And then let's move on. There we go. That is amazing. I love it when that kind of thing happens as well. That's probably one of my favorite things too, where you go into a battle not really expecting much, and then you come away with an extremely beneficial upgrade of some kind. Really, really good. Anyway, I'm wondering what we should do now. Because either I can go back to Odok. I think I will go back to Odok, actually. Never mind. I was going to go through the options. Yeah, I was so tempted, actually. I was very, very tempted. But here's the thing. If I decide to stay in a siege at this moment in time, there is a very high chance that the enemy is just going to come along and attempt to attack us again. And once they attack us again, well, you know what's going to happen, right? Yeah, we're going to have to take more prisoners. And because we don't have any space, well, you see where I'm going with it. It really just is a huge waste of money and roguery skill and all that wonderful stuff. So yeah. Anyway, let's actually just take a quick look here. Okay, so we're losing security right now. I'm actually not entirely sure why that is. Why are we losing security? I should probably put some more people in the garrison, I guess. There we go. Put these in there. Not entirely sure why they're in different... it's probably... I'm sorting by tier. Yes, I'm sorting by tier at the moment. That's maybe not the best idea. Oh well, whatever the case, there's 52 in there. Hopefully that's going to be enough. I actually have no idea. How do we... I actually need to... do I need to speak to this guy?
I await.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see here. I wish to reward you for your services. Oh, that's making a vassal. Technically, we could make a vassal. Yeah, so apparently that does not help. Right, so I'm not going to be able to do anything here, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to get more militia, but the main problem with that is that I'm then going to have to... Yes, I'm then going to have to change my default generation setting over in the town, and that's not something that I really want to do right now, because my loyalty is so low. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. Anyway, I'm thinking we're going to go for more athletics here, primarily because we're probably going to be entering some more sieges relatively soon, and getting some more athletics is definitely going to make a difference. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Not sure how this is going to go, because let's just have a look-see. They've got a bunch of nomads. I mean, really, they just have a bunch of nomads. That's pretty much it. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to ignore this army, and we're just going to go for the siege. We're just going to go for the siege straight up, and if they decide... Oh, he failed that one. That's sad. Okay, yeah, so wait a minute. Are you going to come over here? Yeah, you are coming over here. Okay, I'm just going to actually attack this guy real quick. Okay, who's... Kareth is actually helping me? Kareth is actually helping me. I am really surprised. You know, I really like Kareth, actually. He has been a wonderful, wonderful ally in the past, and I'm kind of wanting to get him again, to be honest. I kind of want to try to persuade him. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be possible, but it would be wonderful if he would join us. Yeah, well, we'll see, we'll see. Maybe if we, well, I say, maybe if we help him here. No, it's not really me helping him. He's really helping us here, but I guess it doesn't really matter because this is going to be a very quick fight indeed, but it would be wonderful if we could get a vassal to join us that soon. Anyway, I'm just going to zoom ahead here because this is obviously a done deal for the most part. This is also the reason why I absolutely love the super speed mod. Highly recommended if you are on PC. It just makes it so much quicker for you, so you don't have to wait around or anything like that. You can just zoom through it. Anyway, we're just going to take this one prisoner, and I'm not going to take any of the actual prisoners. We're just going to leave those. We'll take all the loot, though, of course. Thank you. And then let's have a look-see here. Can I actually say hello to Kareth? Yes, I can. Can I persuade you to join me? Ah, I'm going to need to speak to... okay, yeah, I don't think that's actually going to happen, though, unfortunately. I don't think it would really work out. I might be able to give him some... I can actually ask him to transfer his prisoner? That's hilarious. Okay, actually, let me just give him... I'm just going to give him 50,000 gold, all right? Boom. Okay, that increased my charm by... Actually, not my charm. My relation with him by 7. Okay, so I paid 50,000 for 7 relation. Alright, okay. Yeah, well, I guess that's fine. At least he's not -5 or whatever it was anymore. Okay, let's go in here. Apparently, they don't like Kareth at all. This is very strange. As you can quite clearly tell, they are wanting to beat him up quite dramatically. So, here you go. I guess we're going to go in and help him out. Alright, so let's actually have a look. How many cavalry do we actually have on the field right now? 133 for me, and, well, as you can quite clearly tell, Kareth has a massive amount of camels too. He knows what's up, you see. He is obviously a man of culture, because he has a lot of camels in his army. That is the only reason, apart from the fact that he's actually a wonderful ally. But yes. Anyway, let's just see if I can actually do something here. Whoa, this is a scary sight. A lot of these guys, although, to be fair, they're not as powerful as they used to be, but it's definitely still a scary sight. Oh, you know what? If I was slightly better on horseback, I would have gotten like 5 more kills by now, but oh well, never mind. Doesn't really matter. It's a target-rich environment, let's just say that. I can pretty much just hit anywhere and I'm going to hit something, so it's great. Or shall we say swing anywhere. And hopefully, my forces will not run into all of these spearmen, because they're obviously going to provide a pretty annoying roadblock situation. But doesn't seem like that's the case. I'm going to just try to target down some of these higher tier archers if I can. That's just a regular archer. I'm looking for the ones with all the good gear, you know? I'm looking for the ones with the good armor and everything, and hopefully that will be good. I wouldn't mind... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something really stupid. I'm going to get off my mount. Yes, I'm going to get off my mount, and I'm actually going to do some damage on foot. I'm probably going to die here. I'm just going to run through my camel and the various other mounts here, because that's going to actually provide me with a slight benefit in delaying them somewhat. Okay, unfortunate that this fellow is not actually being able to... there we go, he's dead now. That's also another one of those funny sort of like realism things that I'm just like, what? He was able to do that? A random nomad is not able to, or shall we say, is able to block an extremely long and heavy polearm with his one-handed scythe. I mean, that's not very realistic, is it? That's very funny, in my opinion. I think that's hilarious. Anyway, unfortunately, my athletics skill is not leveling up very, very fast. Actually, you know what? It's actually not bad. It's actually not bad. It seems like I was maybe making a statement way too early right there. As you can see, I'm actually gaining a lot more athletics. I mean, considering the fact that I'm not actually hitting anything, or that is super high tier or anything like that, I think we should. I think we can probably be pretty happy with it. Probably be not so harsh with that, but yeah, it's just it's so slow going initially, obviously. I mean, look at that, 113. What were we before? I think we had 109 or something like that, or I could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure about that, but yeah, the enemy is going to be way too fast for me. And that's the funny thing. That's obviously what's going to happen when you have heavy armor on, because we are wearing very heavy armor. And did I actually take some things that increased my combat movement speed? I did. I did take that one that I said was really, really good. And yeah, it is good. But unfortunately, it seems like my athletic skill is just kind of letting us down right now. We're not really able to move that fast. But as you can see, look at this. We increased our relation with him by 26 just by helping him in a massive battle. There you go. That's fantastic. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take every single one of them prisoner, and then we're just going to be moving on. Now, here's the problem that I'm now facing. I'm not going to go back to Odok here. I don't think that is a good idea, because what's going to happen is Kareth, in my opinion at least, he's probably going to try and swoop in and take Akalat for himself. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. It's looking unlikely that he will, because, let's face it, he's got a lot of casualties right now. He's pretty unlikely to do anything with that. But I'm kind of worried about other Aserai vassals. They're probably going to be doing something around here, maybe. And, hello. Okay, what do we got going on here? We've got this fella coming in. Alright, so I'm actually going to do this.
Stop there.
And we're going to get... well, we're not going to get Kareth, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that he'd stick around, but no, he's obviously moving on, which is to be expected. I mean, let's face it, he can't possibly stay around here so often with so many casualties that he's had. But I actually felt like we did a pretty good job of reducing his casualties, but I guess he had some, well, maybe not so high tier troops or something like that. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know, but yeah, anyway. Let's see if I can try to cherry pick a couple of high tier cavalry units. Highly unlikely I'm going to be able to do that now. There's basically none there. I'm going to go over here and see whether we can actually do these fellows maybe instead. Yeah, that's the... See now, that's the problem. That's the problem. With a slashing polearm is not really ever going to be able to beat a thrusting one in a mount versus mount combat, unless you have a really good angle. If you have a really good angle and the enemy isn't really like dead on with you, you'll probably be okay. But for me personally, in that situation, no. It was just me and that guy, so he was obviously very, very aware that I was going to attack him. There you go. Anyway, yeah, we are absolutely flying here, and the amount of renown that we're going to be getting as well, just from these battles, is insane. It's literally going to set us up for pretty much a huge amount of time. Also, one thing you've got to realize here too, we are also now getting a lot of influence. And that was also something that I really wanted to go for, because now that we've created our own faction, I am now able to push through policies. We can pretty much just push through any policy that we want, because we are indeed the leader, and of course the fact that we don't have any other vassals, so I can basically just push it through any way I like. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be really good, because that means that once I get to a certain clan tier, I'm going to be able to increase my overall party size. I can also increase my party size just because I am purely the ruler. And yeah, that's going to be absolutely fantastic. But unfortunately beforehand, I didn't actually have any influence to be able to do these things. But now that we've participated in so many really pretty large-ish battles, well, now that's sorted, isn't it? Yeah, now that's completely sorted. So I'm just going to speed things up until we are done, and there we have it. We basically lost 0. Yeah, that just goes to show exactly what's going on here. Look at these guys. They have recruits, they have nomads, they have all kinds of low-tier units, nothing high-tier at all. They've got one heavy horse archer, and that's it. What is one heavy horse archer going to be able to do? Well, not much. Anyway, we're going to be taking both of these prisoners as well, and we're just going to be moving on. There's nothing else that I can really do here. I can't take any of the prisoners. That just isn't going to really work. We're going to take some of the horses as well, and then we're going to go for it. We're going to go for the siege, because here's the thing. What's going to happen now is if I delay any further, you know what's going to happen. They're going to make peace. They're going to try to make peace, at least. Anyway, let's have a look here. I am going to go for some policies. So let's have a look. Clans gain 0.1 influence for each fief they own. The cost of revoking a fief from a clan is doubled. I actually don't really care about that. The cost of revoking a fief from a clan. I don't really care about revoking a fief. I don't know why that would make any difference. But what we actually want to do is we want to push through. Let me see now. Tribunes of the people is obviously fantastic, but forgiveness of debts is literally one of the greatest things known to man, in my opinion at least. I personally feel like it is possibly the best policy in the entire game. Just purely for the fact that it increases your loyalty, and if you're taking towns that are not your culture, it basically eliminates that entire loyalty disadvantage, which is exactly what you want. And it doesn't have, it basically has 0 downside as well, or at least in my opinion. But when you have a huge amount of vassals in your faction, or maybe you're a vassal yourself, it is extremely difficult, legendarily difficult, to get that policy instituted in your faction. It's actually crazy how harsh it is. Anyway, town security increased by 1 per day. Towns with a security, that's actually pretty nice. I'm gonna go for that. Let's see, what else can we go for here? War tax, ruler gains this. Towns lose prosperity. No, I want more prosperity, please. Royal guards, really good. That increases my overall party size, like I said I was going to go for. And this is also pretty fantastic. Towns held by the ruler clan gain 1 loyalty and 1 prosperity per day. We're going to do that because the other thing that is the downside of it is just losing every other person's fief by 0.3 loyalty. That's all it's losing them. And, of course, because I have already instituted tribunes of the people and forgiveness of debts, it's already gaining 3 loyalty. Both of these are gaining 3 loyalty. So they're losing 0.3 and they're gaining 3 total. So the only thing that they're losing is well, they're not losing anything. They're gaining a net total loyalty of 2.7, which is obviously what you want. Anyway, yeah, otherwise, apart from that, I don't think about serfdom here. We could go for hunting rights. That increases food production, but I don't think we really need that super badly. Grazing rights is okay as well. Ruler clan actually would be pretty good. Sacred Majesty, I think we'll probably go for that. Castle. This has no downside. This has no downside whatsoever, so we might as well get that. Trade tax paid to the town owner is increased. Town prosperity is decreased by 0.2. Not sure about that, actually. It's pretty good, but yeah, we'll go for noble retinue. Oh, I don't have enough influence. I don't have enough influence. I was getting carried away because I was just having so much fun instituting so many policies. Anyway, let's just besiege this. If they decide to attack me now, then by all means, they can do that. Go for it. Go for it. Come on. I dare you. I dare you. No? No one wants to? No, of course they don't. Of course they don't. I don't blame them, to be honest. And we can just hope that they're not actually going to be doing anything, you know, super dramatic here. You know, they're not going to be getting an army together that is insanely large or anything like that. Unfortunately, my governor is not able to do the Army of Poachers quest because he needs 40 troops in the garrison to be able to do it, and he only has 36. That's a crime, isn't it? That's an absolute crime. Anyway, we're just going to zoom ahead here with this. And hopefully I do have enough food. Okay, so that's good. Because I was a bit worried about that for a real quick second. Ah, it's actually under siege. Odok is under siege. Right, well, I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. I'm not a big fan of really taking risks when it comes to your first fief. Because, first fief, and all, you kind of want to make sure that you maintain control of it for as long as possible, of course. If not, never, ever losing it, of course, right? You never want to lose it. But in this case, I kind of have to take a bit of a risk to expand. If they do end up taking it before I do, then I have to go in here, and we have to try to make this work. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. Can I actually see my stats of Odok right now? Yeah, I can. Ah, my party is maybe ready to attack. That's a bit of a problem. I was kind of hoping that they'd be inside. That's one thing that I was really kind of counting on. I was really hoping that that my parties would actually be inside, because obviously I set them to defensive, so I was somewhat just, well, hoping against hope, I suppose, that they might actually decide to defend it from within rather than be on the outside randomly, but well, never mind. Doesn't really matter too much. As you can see, my trebuchets are just absolutely chunking the walls right now, which is exactly what we want. And of course, you've got to bear in mind that we do want to try and starve them out a little bit, just so that they lose all of their garrison militia, which is obviously going to happen in just a day or so. And let me see what else is going on here. Courier. Ah, hello. Okay, you're actually deciding to go in. Okay, well, this is rather intriguing. Alright. Well, not something that I was really wanting here. I mean, obviously, we were very close to actually achieving something by being able to capture our second town. It's actually quite funny that we... I mean, as I said to you in one of the previous episodes, I actually wasn't anticipating even creating my faction that early. I mean, it wasn't even that early, to be honest, but it was just such a great opportunity. There was nothing I could really do to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna leave, I'm just gonna leave that alone. I'm not going to take this town that is just ripe for the picking. No, that just doesn't make any sense. You might as well try it, and if something does go wrong, well, then it goes wrong. And then you can just, pick yourself back up and go somewhere else. You can rejoin someone else's faction or whatever as a mercenary and then just rebuild yourself. And that has happened to me multiple times in the past as well. Very, very obviously, It's just a matter of perspective, a matter of persistence as well. Because sometimes it is just not gonna work, Sometimes enemies are going to be too strong. Sometimes they're going to have way too good troops. I'm just kind of lucky that we have the Crusade here, because I don't know whether you've noticed so far, but absolutely every single one of their armies has some kind of dominant troop, which is a low tier. And that's it. And that's pretty much all the reason we have that we're winning this in any way, shape, or form, because there's no other way that we would be able to achieve victory here if these guys had any semblance of a decent army composition. So if they had slightly more noble troops, slightly more heavy horse archers, slightly more Dark Khans and marksmen, and so on and so forth, basically just any high-tier unit that they can get their hands on, we would be in trouble. Because they would eventually wear us down. They would wear us down, even though I do have a very large, dramatically powerful camel-based army here, as you can quite clearly tell. I mean, we're basically unstoppable when it comes to fighting the Crusade right here. Actually, maybe not. We're losing quite a few people right now. Even though the enemy has primarily, once again, just nomads, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. We are, well, obviously we are outnumbered dramatically, but they just need a couple more high-tier troops. And once they have those high-tier troops, they would be able to defeat us very, very easily. I'm actually quite surprised that they didn't wait for us to go into the town and then see what happens, but I guess they really are quite desperate to prevent this from happening. I mean, obviously one of their vassals is indeed besieging my home base at the moment, which is not exactly great. So I can only hope that maybe they're going to stop doing that when I've actually captured this town, maybe. I'm kind of hoping that that will be the case, maybe. I don't know. Might happen. Anyway, I'm just going to zoom ahead here, because there's only very few low-tier troops remaining. And we should be absolutely fine. I'm actually not entirely sure where the last remaining forces are. It seems like such a cool sight to see all your cavalry just running through the forest over there after like one guy or whatever it is. Anyway, 57 renown right there, as well as a bunch of influence. Gonna be taking these guys prisoner, because of course we are. And I am I ready to actually go into the siege? I'm not entirely sure if I'm ready to go into the siege yet. If I am ready to go into the siege, then I should optimally take all of the prisoners, but I'm actually not sure whether I am, so I don't really want to do that because I don't want to lose any of these vassals. You see, that's the main concern there. Anyway, we're just going to do this, let my forces just take whatever they want to take and equip their new gear, which is rather nice. And let's take a quick look. Okay, so continue the siege. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, so I wasn't ready, as you can see. The militia has not been eliminated yet. So let's just speed things up a little bit and see whether... How am I being killed right now? Oh, no, we're not being killed. We're actually just regenerating. Okay, so that's nice. Odok is... Odok has been taken? No, it wasn't. What? Odok is under attack. Why is Odok under attack? No, see, as you can see, it's not being taken. Okay, so I was really worried there for a second. Did you hear me? Oh my, that was real close. Okay, yeah. So anyway, the garrison is being eliminated. As you can see, it's actually not the militia; it's the garrison that gets eliminated, and we are basically done. So let's go straight on in and see what we can do. This is great. This is actually wonderful. Great timing here. And yeah, we've eliminated so many troops. I'm obviously going to be placing my forces, or shall we say their forces, in the prisoner hold here in the dungeons. And I'm going to get off my mount in just a moment. And we're going to try to level up a little bit, if we can. Oh, this is such a slow weapon, unfortunately, on foot. That's going to make a big difference to its effectiveness, of course. Ah, there we go. Nice. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I really love about this. It just do so much damage instantly. Unfortunately, it's not very usable otherwise, so it is going to be very unwieldy in most cases. I really... You know what? Should I just switch to my one-handed? Maybe this is better. Yeah, maybe this would be better. There we go. Seems like we are actually dealing damage now. This is good. Okay, hello. I'm actually able to level up my one-handed skill somewhat too. So I'm pretty happy with this. This is actually the reason why I wanted to get this weapon, because this is a scimitar, and definitely something that I've never actually used before, but it seems amazing. I don't know whether you've noticed, but it seems to do so much damage with such a low amount of one-handed weapon proficiency. I mean, I literally have, what was it? I had like 80-something, and now I have 97. So that's really quite a staggering progression. And it's just purely for the fact that this is doing so much damage. Oh, hello! Wow, you just chunked me super hard, sir. Okay, well, there you go. He's dead. I leveled up my athletics to 126 now as well, so we do get a perk to spend. I think I'm probably going to die. Or maybe not, because I am so incredibly far away from the front lines here, so I think I can probably just zoom everything ahead, and then we should be fine. It's actually quite funny. There was a literal moment, I don't even know how long ago it was, like months ago in another Bannerlord series, and I was doing the super speed thing, and I was just kind of standing there, just letting it do its thing, because we had obviously won at that point. And then I'm at, I think I was at like 40% HP or 30% HP, and then the funniest thing happens. I'm literally just standing there, minding my own business, and then one guy comes up to me, obviously super speed, I can't react in time, and boom, he just kills me. I just thought that was hilarious. Anyway, there you go, done. We were able to achieve victory here. I'm going to be taking all the prisoners now, thank you very much. And we are now going to be placing all of the vassals in the dungeon. Okay, so we're going to show mercy here as well. Let's go into the dungeon. There we are. Let's put these in there. Fantastic. Great. And now we can just sell all of the rest. 17,000 only? Are you serious? Only 17,000? That seems like such a cheapskate amount for the amount of troops that we just gave them. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, there we have it. We can now also sell this. We have a lot of food, so we don't need to worry about that. And Odok, as you can see, is no longer under siege. So I am very, very pleased about that too. And let's just take a quick look at what's happening here. So the garrison obviously is looking really, really poor right now. So I'm going to have to do something about that. But as you can quite clearly tell, you see exactly what's happening here. Obviously, the loyalty drift is, yeah, it's just a factor of life at this point because we've just ended a siege. But here's the thing. I can literally just do militia training straight away. And we can get some people in the garrison there really quite quickly. Or at least try to get some people in the garrison quite quickly. I mean, we already have militia in there, but, you know, it's obviously going to make a slight bit of difference, hopefully. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be going for Surging Blow here as well. I think Surging Blow for that additional damage bonus. I think that's probably going to make a bit of a difference for our damage in sieges. And then otherwise, what do we want? Plus 20% experience for troops when they are sent to confront the enemy, or plus 10% shared experience for cavalry troops. Well, considering I have mostly cavalry troops, that's probably going to be what I'll take. So I'll take a lead by example here. And otherwise, there you go. We've expanded to our second town, and who knows what's going to happen now. I'm very much hoping that we'll be able to continue our war against the Khuzait. I mean, you could see here that they're actually at war against the Aserai and the Southern Empire too. So they are going to want to make peace very, very soon. And that worries me quite a bit, because I kind of don't want them to, and I'm pretty sure the Aserai will want to declare war on us, because they're going to see us as easy pickings. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.